Good day, folks. This is Greg GD Green Pastures Farm. Just finishing up a good day of clearing brush on our new farm we just bought. And you can see where the old fence line was. We tore that out because we're going to use all poly wire. This is a high pencil line going down through here. You see what happened. Well, partly you can see we already took all the brush out, but there's some multiple rose bushes in there and such. But I wanted to show you something. This is a pile of brush that I gathered up with the grapples. You look at that set of grapples. There's no way you can get all that in one clamp. But I'm going to see if I can. I'm betting I can. We trimmed up the honey locust. There's 3 in a group down there. No, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. We took out 4 and we left 3. 7. There were 7 trees and we took out 4 and left 3. And by doing that, they'll get bigger, wider, better shade. Here's another honey locust. This one's actually a thornless. Love that. And that's a pin oak right there. And then it's got 2 ash trees and an elm right next to it. And I'm not cutting any of those down. We need the shade. And then we got a plum thicket down there that the cattle like to get in the summertime. But I had the boys, and we had an intern applicant here today too. And everybody was just going. I mean, absolutely cranking. And we cut a lot of brush. A lot of brush. I've got 1, 2, 3, 4. I got 4 brush piles. I mean, they're thick. Tight. It's tight brush piles. All right, let's see what we can do. It might be a little trick filming this without me having all my hands where they need to be, but I'm going to try. I'm going to raise her up, and I'm going to open up my grips all the way. There we go. Go down to my lowest gear. When you're pushing brush like this, trying to gather it, it's always best to go downhill with it. You're using gravity. Okay, so you start in, I've got my, you can see that right down there on the ground. It's like a rake. I'll rake it up. Once I feel it, there it is, it's catching. It's catching. If I see I leave a big tree underneath, I'll back up and grab it. You know what, this is going really well. I think I may have got him. Wow, look at that. Then I'm gonna close my clamps. I'm going to try and close my clamp. I'll back up a little bit, help it. There we go. Now I'm going to lift it up in there, and we're going to see how much of it I got. There it goes. Check that out. Folks, there's not a twig left on the ground. That's amazing. You know how long it would take me to grab that brush? I'm going to show you how far I'm going with it. This is my last load of the day, so I don't have to be in a hurry. My boys, young men, and our intern applicants, they're over moving the cows. And Jan's going to have everybody down for a good home-cooked meal tonight. We work hard, but we also play hard. And I think that's important. You gotta remember to have some fun along the way. It's not all work. Check this out. This is awesome. I've got the nastiest pile of thorn trees down. I grabbed whole trees that were 30 foot tall. And one group, I actually had 2 of them in one load. And I brought them down here. There's a terrace down here. There's some dead spot here where it always floods. And so it's not like I'm killing out any good grass. It's just some water grass. Oh, slow down, Greg. felt that tractor sway a little bit. I've got the mast up in the air a little higher than normal, just so it doesn't drag any brush on. So now I'm coming up to my pile. I'll show you the pile lower down. See, there it is. I'm gonna bring back up. And right when I get to my pile, right here, now I'm gonna lift my clamps up. Okay. And now I'm gonna push it in tight. As I push in, I raise up. See that? Man, you talk about a pile. It's right in an area where there wasn't any beneficial grass. I just stacked enough brush there in 5 minutes. It would have taken me 2 hours to carry it down there. Now, I'm going to go show you what we cleaned up over behind the lake dam. We still have all the metal. The guy that owned the farm before us, he just had a metal scrap pile back here and he never threw any metal away. And there's old truck chassis, there's barrels, there's old cultivators, there's parts of balers and rakes. There's even some railroad rail, the actual steel rail. I don't know where he got that at. It's gonna add up to some weight pretty quick. This is a terrace that was in here. They used to crop that bottom down there. And so back in the day, around here, everybody put terraces in to keep the water off of that bottom so they can plow and work the ground earlier in the springtime. And I see a lot of this. It's on, well, all the farms here along this creek pretty much has these terraces on it. And they were put in back in the 50s and 60s. I'm telling you, that took a lot of dozer work to push that much dirt full length of this farm. I'm going to show you some brush piles first. We left the nicer trees, the thorn trees. We have a chainsaw on a stick, and the boys trimmed that puppy up high enough that those limbs that are hanging down won't be smacking us in the face. And if we want, there's going to be autumn hollies coming in underneath these trees. You can get in there now without tearing your tractor up. And if you want to, you can brush hog them off every couple of years. Yeah, I'm going to show you this pile over here. We're coming up on one of them, and there's 2 more over there. I'm telling you, we have really moved a lot of brush in the last 2 days. Cut a lot of brush. The tractor's moved it. Man, look at that. That's the starting of it right there. This is just one pile. I got 2 more just like it. There's gonna be a lot of rabbits living in there. You got some beautiful habitat. And there was a trio that I was gonna grab, and those boys, they're so stout. They picked that tree up and carried it over here, so I didn't even have to stack it. There's some logs in there, folks. I mean, big logs. The ones that are in there are sycamore. That's a sycamore right there. It's a really soft wood. It doesn't make very good lumber. It rots really quick. And we've got plenty of oak, so we don't really saw much sycamore. The sycamores are kind of a water hog too. They'll really take a lot of water. I'll just drive you up through here. You can see there's an old car. There's the metal. We got some gates that we gathered up. There's another brush pile. Here's another brush pile. The rabbits will be in heaven. Rabbits will be in heaven in here. I'm gonna lower that down. There we go. just ran over a stump. Always puts a lump in my throat when I get to a stump. You run over one, because it does not give. There's an old chop saw. There's been more people lose their arms on those things right there. And the stand is a part that you see up. There's that pulley right there, and there's a blade on this end right there. On this end, there was a metal blade that went on there, a big one, like, I don't know, 14, 16 inch diameter. And you sit there and run trees through that. I mean, trees big enough, 4 to 6 inches. That's how the old timers cut their firewood, is they'd hook a belt on that. And boy, you're talking about dangerous. If it kicks back, that tree's coming out of there, and it can throw your arm into that saw. And I had an old friend, he had one years ago. I was 20 years old. I had this thing, I've saved a lot of work, a lot of time. I'll get you. And he wouldn't sell it to me. And it had the blade on it and everything. And he said, Greg, he said, I'm gonna help you out. I'm like, you're not helping me out. You're not gonna sell it to me. He goes, no. He said, I'm gonna help you out. You're gonna keep all your limbs. He said, you don't want any part of that saw. And so I thank you, Kenneth. You saved my limbs, and that's kind of where those things belong, right there. And we're going to put that in a metal container. It's going to be melted down, and you can reuse the steel. But those chop saws, folks, I'm telling you, they're dangerous. Anyway, it's getting dark, and I'm done. It's a great day. We got a really nice. We got just a ton of work done today. It's unbelievable. You get 3 or 4 people on chainsaws and one person stacking. It's crazy how much brush and thorn trees you can cut. Anyway, I'm gonna get out of here. Everyone have a good one. And I wanted to tell you, plug on that farm that we got for sale. We're gonna be posting that pretty soon. The actual auction time when it starts, and of course the starting price and all that. It's a beautiful 112-acre farm in Salem, Arkansas, and it's completely ready to go. It's just ready to turn cattle or sheep or goats or whatever you want on it. And there's all the infrastructure's there, so you don't find that very often. So anyway, have a good one, and we'll see you all down the road.